thankful and I'm looking forward to reading your book. And I've been listening to a lot of videos. And can you tell us, Pastor Gay, can you tell us about your new book, Whitewashing Christianity?
Yeah, thanks, man. So it's called The Whitewashing of Christianity. Then the subtitle kind of gives you a summary, a synopsis somewhat of the book. So the subtitle is A Hidden Past. So I want to talk about Africa's and Africans' contribution to the Christian faith as it relates to theology and missions and philosophy. And so there's this hidden past of where we don't know about Africa's influence, Africa's inclusion in scripture. What do we know about the Cushites in Ethiopia? What do we know about the Coptic church? And so there's this hidden past because we start church history at Wittenberg. So we start with the Protestant Reformation, but we skip over hundreds of years of African Christianity that precedes it. And even facts like how a lot of the Ethiopian theologians actually influenced Martin Luther. And so there's this hidden past that people don't know about. And people are making an eternal decision to reject Christ because they see Christianity as a monolithic faith, only favoring white people. Again, that's a lie. That's not the truth. We know Christianity welcomes all people.
Amen.
But we have to be willing to admit that when we look functionally at the imagery of Jesus, you got white Jesus, white 12 disciples, white Paul, white Mary, all the imagery typically is there, and that's communicating something to people. So that's the hidden past. There's a hurtful present, and I deal with how certain theologians are given a pass for their views on slavery, and I talk about there's a chapter. It's called the product of his culture, the whitewashing of slavery, and how we're now saying that someone was a product of their culture, so they're getting a pass based on culture. No, the gospel transcends culture. We wouldn't say that about, there's a lot of stuff that's acceptable now, Tony, that we know was sinful. And we wouldn't say, oh, well, they were just a product of their culture, so he was polyamorous.
Right.
We wouldn't say that. And so we theologians are suspending their theology for their heroes. I also deal with self-hatred, how some Black and brown people internalize whitewashing and begin to look down on people who look like them. So you got that hidden past, hurtful present, but then there's this hopeful future, right? Like, I'm unpacking centuries of whitewashing, but saying we're not without hope. And our hope isn't to blackwash the Bible. Our hope isn't black folk, white folk, Indian, Hispanic, whatever, Native American. Our hope isn't one group or one racial group, because we don't need to make a feature of our identity, the foundation of our identity. Our hope is still in Yeshua and his finished work on the cross. But reconciliation is impossible without confrontation.
Amen.
Christ confronted our sin on the cross. We have to acknowledge it by grace and through faith and believing what he did, and we're reconciled to him. Well, we can't ignore centuries of whitewashing when we talk about we want to be reconciled. And so that's kind of where I'm going with the book. It's available or wherever books are sold and for pre-order. And I'm excited about it coming out June 29th, 2021.
To get a copy of Pastor Jerome Gay Jr.'s new book, The Whitewashing of Christianity, click the affiliate link below or check the comments block.